I applied to nurse. I applied to nursing school and I got accepted. But there was a very big family emergency and I could not attend. And I want you all to say a prayer that God did not let me be a nurse, because there are three things. I do not like blood. I do not like hospitals. And you all know me, I do not like germs. Mike had a cold last week. I said, on the couch. He said, it's not that bad. I'm like, no, keep your germs in the living room. So that took off some years. Then I had a friend who was a flight attendant. In the 70s, we called them stewardesses. I thought, oh, I'd be a good stewardess. She got me an interview, and my second interview was in South Carolina. I got on the plane, took my Dramamine, fell asleep. When we got there, I woke up and I realized I don't like to fly. And if they hire me, I will be fired for sleeping on the job. Okay, that took a few more inches off of my 80. Then I decided I moved to Orlando, and the place I dreamed of working was Disney World. Well, guess what? My friend worked there and she said, I can't get you an interview. And I'm like, why not? I've always wanted to work there. Well, they have some strict rules. Yeah, what are they? No wild hair, no bright lipstick, and no false eyelashes. So why don't you go a la naturel? And I said, I can't. And she said, why not? I said, I will be arrested for indecent exposure. Okay, so then I came back, and my husband had a real estate office, and I had my real estate license for years, never used it. He said, come work in my office, it'll be fun. A year later, he called me into the office and he said, this is not working, babe. And I'm like, are you firing me? He said, babe, do you know what a realtor does? And I said, yes. He said, they make money by selling and finding homes for people. You are making no money for the company because you're telling people, why are you moving? If you like your house so much, why do you want to sell? Do you think you can buy this somewhere else? You'll never be able to afford it. Yeah, I got fired by my own husband. Real estate was not for me. Well, here's my magic trick. This is what happened. You can see the measuring tape now. My 80 inches are getting smaller. Well, at 57, I made a life list. And on my life list was to become, George, you will appreciate this, and Tom, a professional clown. And I went to clown school and I became Miss La-di-da. Well, guess what? It is a requirement to wear makeup. It is a requirement to dress up. It is a requirement to have fun. And it's pretty much the way I look every day. So it worked out perfectly. Well, then I got down a little bit further and I thought, I have always wanted to write. So at 63, I wrote my first blog. At 64, I wrote my second blog. And then last month, with the help of a few friends on here, I wrote, I designed, and I published my first children's book. And I am so proud. Now I have 13 inches left. My question to you, 80 looked like a lot, didn't it? It looks like a lot. But how many inches have you used? Those inches are now memories. Those inches made you who you are today. But what are you going to do with the inches that are left? Make a life list. Take that trip. Learn that new hobby. Forgive someone. Enjoy those inches. You see, none of us know when the measuring is going to stop. Every inch matters. Master of Ceremony.
Thank you, RoseMary. I found that from both our speakers today, I'm sure our humor detector might have some ideas for some really dirty jokes, but I'm not going to go there because you're trying to keep things family friendly. And we're going to call upon the man of many hats, Tom Hobbs, to conduct the facilitation.
Oh, my friend William, if you won't go there, guess who will? Go ahead and mute it now if you don't want to hear it. All right. Well, let's give some support to RoseMary. To help her add a little bit of humor, help her add some clarity. And where could she take this message to? Because there was a very strong message in here. Well, let's start with Charlotte. Charlotte, have you gotten your technology to work?
Let's hope so. Can you hear
All
me
right.
okay?
We can hear it with Charlotte, followed by May, followed by George. So Charlotte, May, then George.
Okay, thank you very much, Tom. RoseMary, that is a wonderful speech. Every speech you do is wonderful, but I think this one knocks it out of the ballpark. I love the humor. I love you're using the ruler to measure your life, both past and then providing inspiration for the future. Thank you so much. I don't know what you could do differently that would make it any better. Back to you, Tom.
All right, continue on. Thank you. Going to May, followed by George, followed by Marjane.
That was excellent. I love it. And then all the matching yellow, everything, and even the tape. Very good. And I I couldn't find anything that can improve, but it just like I don't know, just perfect. Thank you.
There's beauty in everything, right? What would we call this?
Yes.
Wasabi. Oh, what?
What?
Oh, sorry.
Wabi sabi.
I just like to have May say that. She has it with so many great accents. She only has 4 languages she uses. Let's go to George, followed by Marjane.
Absolutely. Wasabi, wasabi, wasabi. Wow. It just, you blew me away. That was so good, all the way beginning to end. This is definitely an international speech contest. If you're not competing right now, do it next year. Think about it. In fact, the board is approved for a fall conference. I'm hoping there'll be a humor contest out of that too. But this is worthy for international speech contest. International speech contest, you have to be serious, be funny, and make a point. You did all that in one speech. So incredible. So you've convinced me to join the club. Give me the application.
All right, George. Thank you much. George, followed by Marjane, and then we're going to pop back up to Sue Lightoff.
Okay, well, it would be hard to give a more ringing endorsement than someone saying they're going to join because of the speech you gave, RoseMary. That was a wonderful speech with a lot of great humor. I'd like to see a little more reference back to the inches during the middle part of the speech, or to the measurement, something in the middle to connect it even a little bit more. But wonderful, wonderful humor, and he's right. If you're not competing with this year, you need to compete with it next year.
Very nice, Marjane. We're going to go to Sue and Laura. We'd love to have you come online and give a little feedback. I know you did it in chat, but let's go to Marjane and Sue first.
RoseMary, that was really powerful. I've often heard quantity versus quality, which is great. I agree with Marjane, maybe tie into the flight and maybe something about I kill him with kindness or I kill him with jokes or something like that. Again, way to bring it back. And I'm always thinking, everybody always wants to be a lawyer or doctor, but how many of us are office workers? That's what I've always thought.
Very nice, Sue. Laura, do you have an opportunity to participate?
Yes, I'm coming on camera here. Thank you for asking. There's a party going on in the other room, so sorry if you hear screaming. I know. I'll invite you all over. Wonderful speech, RoseMary. I loved every inch of it. and yeah. And I think you did a really great job at kind of self-deprecation, kind of making fun of yourself and maybe some of the almost like the things your audience might be thinking about you're addressing, right? I would like for you to maybe add something in there that's like the opposite of self-deprecation, something that really shows that you really love yourself and you are confident. I know that you touched on it throughout your speech, but it might be a fun way to be like, yeah, I look like a clown and I'm absolutely fabulous. You know, something like that. I think that would be fun. All right, back to you.
Very good. Thank you, Laura. And that's all very true. I'm going to throw in one quick one, Rosemary, is you can use the visual of the tape going up and down vertically. It might be easier for this situation because you can keep shrinking it down. That's just a way to add to that. That works really well. And there's plenty of good measurements you could put in there. So I'll pass at that point. Let's pass it back over to our master of ceremonies, William McCambie.
Thank you, Tom, and thank you everyone who presented mini evaluation for the round robin evaluation. Now, we'll take a quick break. And while we're on the topic of jokes, which seems to be the theme of this meeting, Tran is going to give us a joke or three.
Yes, I'm honored to be the joke mistress today. Two politicians came to the door. Knock, knock. An 85-year-old gentleman opened the door and say, yes, well, how can I help you? They said, oh, sir, we just want to talk about the campaign that's going on in your neighborhood. Oh, okay, come on in. So there's an older politician and a younger politician. They sat down with the gentleman and talk about politics. The older politician keep talking and talking, and the younger politician saw a bowl of peanut. So he was munching and munching the peanut while the other one is talking. And the owner of the home is smiling and not on whatever they talk about. After a conversation, about 10-15 minutes is done. They stood up, walked to the door, and the owner shook their hands. And when he shook the hand of the younger generation, I mean, the younger politician, and say, well, thank you very much for eating all my peanuts, because I suck on the chocolate and I wonder who can eat all my peanuts. Sorry, wabi sabi, you take it however you like it. Bye. So much for politicians.